Today I wanted to talk about, I love how I'm just jumping right in. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about living in the past, only because I've had a couple of people reach out to me, pretty much asking about my journey, and I've gotten the question multiple times of what keeps me going and how am I able to constantly move forward and be so positive. Now, like I've said in my other videos, I have not always been this way. Please, I don't ever want to portray something that I'm not. I still am on a journey myself. It's a journey every single day of trying to be positive. And I think it's hard trying to be positive because we are constantly, being told that, what we are is not good enough, who we are is not good enough. And we're constantly going against the grain. So automatically we turn to negative before positive. So trying to be positive in life every single day is definitely a task. But I wanted to talk about really how living in the past can really, really deter us from being great and just moving forward into the light and just really booming at the seams of who we are is the road we want to go on. So the way I used to constantly live in the past. I mean, it's the safest way to be because we can have pity parties for ourselves. We could be, the woe is me, and we can just constantly be negative in a bad mood and just have bad vibes all around us at all times because that's the most comfortable thing to do. Whether you want to believe it or not, it is the most comforting and comfortable thing that we could possibly do is to just be in this negative place because being positive requires effort. It requires growth, and it requires really being vulnerable and stepping out on faith and being really, really uncomfortable. And us humans, we like to be comfortable. It's true. And I really think it's important for us to really make a difference and be uncomfortable and go on this journey of really figuring out who we are and getting out of this dark place that holds us back for so long. I was speaking to this girl the other day, and she told me that she was having a hard time opening up on her social media. Now, I found that alarming a little bit only because I feel like a lot of us open ourselves on social media, and it's easier for us to do it on social media rather than in person. But when she explained why, I totally understood, and in ways I felt bad, and I felt like this is a topic I needed to discuss. So she spoke about how she's scared to open up herself on social media because of all of the things she's done in her past, all of the mistakes she's made, all of, who she used to be, and she was scared of being judged. I get that. It's one of the scariest things for us to open ourselves on social media, to go live, to do videos like this, because we're afraid of the people that we used to be are going to come back and haunt us. And the people that we knew growing up, or the people we may have bullied, or the people that we have may have treated like shit, are gonna come back and be like, she's a liar, okay? Whatever she's telling you guys is not true. She is evil. She's a horrible person. And we're fearful of that. And we should be fearful of that. I mean, that may happen. And I don't want to say we should be fearful of that. It's understandable to be fearful of that. We should not be fearful of that only because then that just means what? We can't grow. We can't mature. We can't turn into better people. And I don't understand that because in life, that's what we're supposed to do. Okay, we're supposed to grow up. We are supposed to learn from our mistakes. I talk about my past pretty openly, on here, on Faith That with you guys, on lives that I do on my personal page on Facebook. I pretty much open up to you. And if you've known me from when I was a little girl, you know that I was evil. And I say evil because in my younger days, I would describe that as evil. And then growing up, I was just angry all the time, so I felt like I just had to be mean because that's where everything was coming from. Like, I didn't even know how to be nice. Just my sarcasm and attitude would just first come out, and then, that's who I was. And it sucks. It sucks. And I don't know, I think we should allow ourselves to be open with everyone around us. And you know, with new relationships that we're entering to. Like, we shouldn't be afraid of the mistakes that we made, and we shouldn't be afraid to talk about, you know, the horrible people, in a sense, that we think we were. We shouldn't be afraid to talk about that. I'm not, you know, because I know how far I've come, and I know every day that I strive to be better, and I strive to have a better attitude. I strive to inspire and empower people to do the same. So if I constantly live in the past and I'm constantly worried about people judging me because of the things I've done before, and feel like they're going to say, you know, she's a fraud, like, am I gonna live my entire life worrying about what other people say? I'm sorry, but when we grow up, like, screw what other people think about you. Screw what other people say. It doesn't matter. Like, I promise you, it does not matter. It could be like 10 people telling you you are a horrible person. I don't care what you think. It's fine. Like, if you have reason to believe I'm a horrible person, that's fine. But if I want to sit there and waste my time believing what you think of me, and I don't even have my own thoughts of myself, then, like, what am I going to do with my life? I'm just going to be miserable, right? So don't worry about what others think about you. You know, I understand it could get to us. It totally can. I get that. But if we worry about it too much, it really takes away from us growing as a person. So we really have to say, screw what other people think about us. If there's other people who think we're great, that's awesome, because the support and encouragement always helps. But you really have to believe in yourself. That's where it comes from first. If you don't believe in yourself, that you're a good person, that you have not changed, then you're not going to come off a good changed person. You know what I mean? So you really have to believe it yourself. You have to believe that you are really a good person at heart, which most of the time we really are. We just have a really bad way of showing it or communicating. And we do have to do a lot of soul searching. I tell one of my friends this all the time. You know, you may think I have it together, which I totally don't. It's a journey every day for me, like I said. It's constantly soul searching, dealing with your demons of your past that you think that you can't let go of. Other people may have let go of that already. So your fear of being judged comes from you, not them. They may have gotten over who you used to be or what you've done to them. But it's your demons that you're not dealing with. So you need to deal with that first. Can you forgive yourself? Can you understand why you did it and just pray that you will never be like that again? Can you learn from those same mistakes? Can you learn how to communicate better, you know, in ways that you couldn't communicate before? Can you see the problems that were, you know, that were risen at the time? Like, can you see that? And if you can see that, then you can make the adjustments and make the changes to become a better person. And you could be viewed differently, you know, and you could be treated differently. But it has to come from you. If you do not see the changes in yourself, and if you can't move on from the past, then that, yes, your past will haunt you. Whether it's because of you or whether it's because of other people, your past will haunt you. So you need to forgive yourself. You need to learn how to deal with those demons on your own. So it takes a lot of self-discovery before you can communicate with other people of, like, this new person that you are. And it's scary. It is scary. It is rough. It is emotional. It's like a crazy emotional roller coaster. And I remember one of the first times I started dealing with, like, this anger that, like, took over my entire life. I was always angry. That's where my attitude came from. I was always angry about something. Once I started to deal with that, I knew exactly where that anger came from. And it's something that I didn't deal with from when I was a little girl. It sounds very deep and it sounds crazy, like not everyone has this deep thing, and it may not. You may just be angry for something stupid. But for me, my real dangerous, aggressive anger came from something that I didn't want to deal with from when I was a little girl. And it came from me talking about it with my mom. It came from me talking about it with my husband. And it came from me just dealing with it on myself and, like, facing my problems. Like, Lauren, you were so out of control. Like, that's not a reason to go into your life being mad. Like, you've got to let it go. And letting it go was so hard, but it was so liberating because I literally felt this weight off of my chest. And I was able to just be like, it happened, and it's like, whatever. Like, I'm not taking it into my future with me, because I'm gonna be like 40, a mom of like 2 kids, and just have this attitude and this negativity all the time, then what's gonna happen? My kids are gonna be this negative way, and I don't want that. I don't want that. It's not exciting. It's not fun. It's just, ugh. It's honestly overwhelming, and it's draining. So I really want to just say, we all have a past. Whether you have dealt with it, whether you want to admit it, we all have a past, and there's things that we are not proud of. There are people we used to be that we are embarrassed to say that we were. I get that. We have to deal with it, though. We have to deal with it and forgive ourselves, understand why we did it, understand where we were coming from, but understand that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and we are able to grow from those experiences and be better people. It is never too late. It's never too late, and it's always a journey of self-discovery. You're gonna constantly learn new things about yourself every single day. I learn things about myself every day, and I'm surprised. I'm like, whoa, like, I surprise myself. You know, I really surprise myself, and that's what life is about. It's getting to know who you are, and the only way to getting to know who we are is through growth and is through experience. So I encourage you to literally take pen and paper, because I think pen and paper is really underrated. There's power in writing things down, but because we're so tech savvy these days, we like to go on our phones and do like mini diaries. Let's not. Get a paper and pen and write down all of the things maybe that you've done or you haven't forgiven yourself for, maybe you haven't forgiven other people for, something that makes you mad, where you think your anger comes from. And this is going to be like a crazy list, guys, so take your time. Go through that list and see if you can really start digging deep with yourself about those. Okay? Can you forgive yourself? Can you forgive that person? What is the underlying problem here? Do you think you still suffer from it or struggle with it? And just, I don't know, just dig deep with the issues that you've written down. It's gonna be over time. I mean, you're probably not gonna get through it in a day, and if you do, kudos, but you're gonna have to deal with it for longer than that. And it's just a step in the right direction. And you just have to know that working on yourself is the best thing you can do for you and for the people around you, like your friends and your family and future relationships. So don't be afraid to work on yourself and to move forward in life and to portray this positive person. And you don't have to feel like you're being fake. All of us have sometimes need the boost and we want to put positive things out there so we can try and be positive too, and that's not being fake. You're just trying to live better, you're trying to be better, and the more positive you put out there, the more positive you'll get. It's the same way, the more negative energy we put out into the world, the more negative things we get back, and everything around us starts to fall apart. So just try and be positive and just constantly work on being a better person. Don't be ashamed or embarrassed or scared that your past is going to come and haunt you. It's part of your story, you know? Don't be ashamed of it. It's part of your story. But you'll be able to look back one day and just say, I've grown so much from that experience. I'm not afraid to talk about it. I'm not afraid to answer your questions about it. But I've come a long way, and I feel like I'm a different person. And I can tell you, me, Lauren Burrows, I have come such a far journey from who I used to be, and I couldn't be more proud of myself. But I know that I have a ton of work to do because I'm not perfect. None of us are perfect. I still, step back into bad habits, and I fail on a daily basis, and that's okay because that's life. But I know that I'm confident that I am a better person than I used to be, and that's my goal in life, to continue to be better and to continue working on myself. And I want to inspire and empower you guys to do that too. Let's be honest, this world needs a lot more good people and more positive energy, because we're just in this dark and negative place, and it's only us that can get ourselves out. Okay, so really quickly, I just wanted to share a verse with you that really speaks to my soul when it comes to this matter that we just spoke about. So it's in 2 Corinthians, and it's 5:17, which I have to find. Hold on, here it is. Okay, actually 5:16. So from now on, we regard no one from a worldly point of view. Though we once regarded Christ in this way, we do so no longer. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old has gone, and the new is here. All this is from God, who reconciled us to himself through Christ and gave us the ministry of reconciliation. That speaks volumes to my soul, and the reason for that is because if we surrender our lives to Christ, if we give it all to him, all of who we used to be, all of our issues, all of the demons that we have, if we give it all to him, he promises us that we will be born again new. Everything that we used to be, that old us is dead and the new us is here. So God can forgive us. So we have to be able to forgive ourselves. If you can't find a way to forgive yourself, give it to Christ and let him forgive you. He already has. But surrender your life and give him your issues and pray to him daily, and I promise you, he will work through that with you. I couldn't have done it without him. I couldn't have dug deep with these demons that I was facing without him. Know that reconciliation is possible with other people, with ourselves. He forgives us every single day and is there with open arms every single time. So trust him, let him forgive you, and let yourself forgive yourself. It's possible, it's liberating, and it's a first step in the right direction. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.